Alright guys, Fula comes to you with another video. I just kind of am looking at the trajectory of certain things going on in the world. And, everybody knows that I F with Kevin Samuels, but there's one thing I really disagree with him on. This is the main thing I disagree with him on. And I'm going to give my proofs on why I disagree with him on these things. I'm getting tired of the word high value man. I'm really getting tired of that word. And I'm going to tell you why I'm getting tired of that word, high value man. Because people throw it around so loosely and so crazy, but it doesn't really hold any weight. When you look at those two clowns, Fresh and Fit, they consider themselves high value men, but to me, they're not high value men. They lead with their damn pockets. That's all they do. They lead with their damn pockets. They don't basically put it this way, man. I would not aspire to be those guys, okay? I don't care if they have Rambos and all of that. I would not aspire to be in their position because, no disrespect, but their position reeks of feminine energy to me. You know what I mean? And then you look at the women they have, and those are some bust down ass women, man. Like fives and you know what I mean? So the thing is about this whole high value man thing is that my version of a high value man is different from Kevin Samuels' version because they're not called high value men. Like when you look at, for example, I'm gonna just take some examples in history. You know what I mean? You look at let's just take Uthman Danfodio, Rahmatullah alayhi. Uthman Danfodio, Rahmatullah alayhi, was a teacher, a revolutionist, and he was a reformer, right? Because of Uthman Danfodio's activities, I think it was maybe more than 60,000 square feet of West Africa was changed. And that led to other activities by other people to be done. One of those other people being El Hajj Omar Talib, Rahmatullah alayhi. But guess what? Uthman Danfodio, Rahmatullah alayhi, he had 4 wives. However, and it could be because of the time he was living in, he really lived off of the work of his own hands, which was not much. And he only wore 2 outfits because he was practicing abstaining from this world's luxuries. But for me, that's a high value man because, for example, his daughter spoke 4 languages. His son was very much a high value man too. But if you tell this to Kevin Samuels, he probably wouldn't think of them as high value men. Despite the fact that their activities did increase learning, their activities did increase commerce. Let's take a few more examples. You look at the Haitian Revolution, which I will never ever stop reading on, because every time there's something I think I know about it, I'm learning something else. You look at the likes of Toussaint Louverture, look at the likes of Jean-Jacques Dessalines, you look at the likes of Jean-Baptiste Bellay, you look at the likes of Henry Christophe, you look at all these figures in history. I don't think in Kevin Samuel's eyes they would be high-value men, despite the fact that they did a lot of things. They did a lot of heroic things. They put their whole beings on the line for liberty of an entire race. However, because they were ravaged and because there was no other choice but to basically decimate the country in order to to get their means, they probably wouldn't be seen as high value men by Kevin Samuels, because, you know, they had to put people to work, because you have to understand the country was ravaged. You know what I mean? Like, they ravaged that country. They had no choice, because if they didn't do it, then slavery will be reinstated. So I'm going to name one more guy to the equation. You look at Thomas Sankara. Now, Thomas Sankara, if you don't know, he was the former president of Burkina Faso. He was a revolutionary. Although he said he was Marxist-Leninist, I think his views were basically more inclined to what his people needed more than anything else. I don't think he was like, quote unquote, like a Marxist-Leninist, so to say. Although he read Marxist literature and stuff like that. He read those books, don't get me wrong. But he had to transform his people. He had to transform his people into, like, citizens with dignity and stuff like that. He had to cut salaries of people in the government to, like, sacrifice in order to build his country up. You know what I mean? When Thomas Sankara was assassinated, he only had like a guitar and a couple of, like, he didn't have that many belongings. He didn't amass many riches. You know what I mean? His family was told that they had to go get their own, right? So with that being said, in my eyes, he was a high-value man, but I bet you in Kevin Samuel's eyes, he wouldn't be a high-value man. And I'm going to end this video with one more thing. What good is a high-value man when women don't appreciate quote-unquote high-value man? I'm going to give you a couple of examples. You look at what's going on with Will and Jada. You know, putting him in the, like, just like really making that guy look bad right now. You look at the example, a new example that came to me, Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. Now, mind you, Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats, Swiss Beats cheated on his wife to be with Alicia Keys. And Alicia Keys said initially she didn't like the dude and she didn't want anything to do with the dude. So if she's saying that, and here's a multi-platinum producer, here's a record label CEO, if she is saying this about him, who is high value, then what good is a high value man? I'll give you another example. Russell Wilson and Sierra. Here you have a high value man who took a 304 And she was a 304 because Future had a turn, Bow Wow had a turn, 50 Cent had a turn, Trey Songz had a turn. And you look at what she's doing now, just basically disrespecting him, twerking on screen, being topless on screen. And this dude is just condoning it. Now, mind you, he's a quote unquote, high value man. So, you look at one final example I'm going to give. There's Ayesha Curry and Steph Curry. Now, word on the street is that they are going to do an open marriage. That's the word on the street. I don't know how true this is, man, but that's the word on the street, that they're going to do an open marriage. That's their plan. They want to do an open marriage where Ayesha Curry can have her cake and eat it too, and Steph Curry can have his cake and eat it too. I guarantee you it was her idea to do that open marriage because her behavior showed, like, you can see the behavior creeping in. You saw the behavior like opening up. And boom. She's talking about, let's do a open marriage. One more example. Brittany Renner and PJ Washington. Okay? NBA, millions of dollars, can set you up for life. What does she do? Use him for her means. Not even trying to marry him. Not even trying to add some stability in this craziness in the NBA. Right? So this is why I kind of disagree with Kevin Samuels' definition of a high-value man, for the simple fact that, you know, a high-earning, high-value dude is still liable to be disrespected. The way Kevin Samuels talks is like, he thinks that like a high-value man is by default going to have a woman who's just gonna do and say everything and be peace. But you see these high-value men and these women are nothing but, they're anything but peace. So, you know, this is just my opinion. This is just my view on this topic. But, I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Hulu signing out. Njarama.